The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to conduct a features inspection and sea trial of a new launch from Regal Yachts that serves as a harbinger of the company heading in a new direction of flying bridge yachts. And I have to say, this one has some impressive features. It's the new 42 Fly. She has a 2-stateroom layout with either 1 or 2 heads and an interior that makes her seem larger than she is. But since the flying bridge is the focal feature, let's start our tour there. The stairs to the flying bridge are comfortably wide, which makes for an easier transition for aging demographics, and they're also well lit. Immediately to the right is an L-shaped sofa with storage under the seats, all wrapping around a solid wood pedestal table. Courtesy lights are underneath. Just ahead is a convenient refrigerated drawer underneath a solid surface counter. Ahead and to port is a double-wide lounge seat, allowing guests to enjoy the same view as the captain when underway. Below, there's a loudspeaker and subwoofer with more courtesy lights. Further forward is a small sun pad that can be joined with the port side bench seat. To the right is the starboard-mounted helm with a 16-inch display highlighting the glass dash. Below is the rocker switch panel, VHF, engine start-stops. The wheel is mounted to a tilt base. To the right are the engine controls, the trim tab controls with indicators to the sides, and behind is the IPS joystick. A wraparound smoked windscreen is just ahead. The captain's chair is 1.5 feet width with a single flip-up bolster. It also adjusts fore and aft. Below are the main circuit breakers for the bridge electrical. Overhead, the bimini top provides plenty of shade, and it's breathable so it sheds heat better. As we make our way along the side decks, we measured 17 inches in width. They're designed to channel water overboard. Grab rails along the cabin sides and 22-inch high side rails make for a safe transition. 8-inch cleats are at midships, and it's not lost on us that there are courtesy lights just alongside. There's a sun pad atop the cabin, making for a nice place to relax, and we're happy to see that it can be configured in multiple positions and levels, even for allowing for forward-facing seating. To one side is a stereo remote and cup holder. To the opposite are 2 cup holders. A cabana sunshade is available as well. Forward, Regal did a nice job of concealing the ground tackle, making for a flush deck with waterproof speakers in the tow rails. Under the hatches, to port we have self-draining storage for fenders and lines. To starboard is road access and the washdown, and with this whole area being recessed, it's much easier to keep clean. In the center is the recessed windlass leading to a through-the-stem anchor. A courtesy light is provided. Foot control switches are ahead and to the left. The remote spotlight is forward. Real height here is 38 inches. The nearly full-beam swim platform comes out 35 inches and can be either fixed or hydraulic. With this fixed version, a switch on the transom activates the power platform, making it convenient for reboarding, even for pets. The hydraulic version negates the need for this and can also launch a tender or PWC. Either way, there's still a concealed ladder to port. The transom shower is ahead and to the right. Roomy trunk storage is just ahead and is compartmentalized for added convenience. Operationally, the shore power and city water connections are to the starboard transom. At the corners of the platform, Regal provides 8-inch pull-up cleats for tying up the water toys. Fixed cleats are up higher and out of the trip zone. Now let's head up the stairs to port and take a look at the aft deck. Seating here consists of an L-shaped bench across the back and starboard side. The starboard seat back and cushion can be removed to provide boarding access and a step up to the side deck. Under that step is a storage compartment that also houses the battery switches. Ahead is a solid surface counter concealing an electric grill. A curved grab handle is below with a cockpit refrigerator below that. A stereo remote is alongside and speakers are just above. Additional side deck access is to port. All of this is protected from the extended flying bridge deck 6 feet 5 inches overhead. We transition to the interior via a sliding glass door, and a drain at the outside allows for a single level threshold. The door can also be opened double wide to seamlessly blend the inside with the outside. Inside and to port is a J-shaped settee with a removable pedestal table, all on a raised platform that improves visibility. An opening side window adds ventilation. All the windows have blinds in case we let someone sleep here, and they're all held in position with magnetic catches. The couch has fabric upholstery. The table is mahogany trimmed with stainless and leather inlay. Across the starboard is the galley with plenty of counter space, a concealed electric cooktop, and a single basin stainless steel sink. Below is storage, a convection microwave, and a refrigerator freezer. Behind is the 40-inch concealed flat-screen TV on an electric lift. The entertainment center components are just under the helm seat, and this is a good time to point out the quality materials we're starting to see. In the overhead, there are hidden speakers with LED lights. The panels are whisper wall vinyl. We're seeing recessed lighting, and the air conditioning is falling from behind the soffits. Flooring is low maintenance Amtico. The lower helm is also to starboard and shares many features of the flying bridge helm, but with upgraded upholstery. A single 16-inch Garmin display provides the selectable information, including instrumentation, so there are no gauges to the panel. There's also a recessed area for holding your stuff. The lower rocker switches are mounted to a black aluminum panel. The spotlight remote and VHF are below. Then there's the remote for the windlass that can be used anywhere. The trim tab controls are below that. The engine control and joystick are to the right, and we'd reverse their positions so that we can have our hand on the throttles when sitting back in the helm seat. The seat again is 1.5 feet width with a single flip-up bolster and adjusts fore and aft. A footrest is below with space for tucking the feet under when standing. Opening side windows add ventilation as well as a view of the entire starboard side while still comfortably within reach of the IPS joystick. Opposite is deep storage for chart books. The windshield is single piece, 8 feet 2 inches wide with pantograph wipers. The main electrical panel is just to the side of the helm. Now let's take a look at the accommodations as we head below decks. This area starts with an open-plan atrium that receives natural light from that huge front windshield. Floating tread stairs are supported by stainless steel stanchion with concealed courtesy lights. Just ahead are Soji-style doors to the master stateroom. This is an inviting stateroom with a 6-foot 4-inch high overhead. There's a queen-size island berth, 6 feet 6 inches by 5 feet 4 inches. Steps to both sides allow for easy access, and natural light comes from 2 hull side windows and the overhead hatch. Concealed storage is to both sides of the headboard. A full-length mirror is inside the door to the hanging locker. Additional storage is below the berth. A door to the aft bulkhead leads to the private ensuite head. It features mirrored cabinets, a Corian counter with a vessel sink, electric flush porcelain toilet, and a walk-in shower, all with Amtico decking. A long hull-side window provides plenty of natural light. Ventilation is via an electric fan. Back out to the atrium, and another door leads us to the guest/day head, and this can be swapped out for a lower kitchenette. That layout would include another access door to the master head. And just aft is I kid you not, the guest stateroom. And frankly, the only reason the forward stateroom is the master is that it includes an ensuite head. Personally, I'd be here as it's ginormous. The athwartship's berth is a classic household king size, something we rarely see on boats under 65 feet. The headroom over the bed is 2 feet 7 inches. Opposite is a settee providing beautiful views out the hull side window. A flat screen TV and a swivel mount is above. Guest stateroom indeed. The door has a clever feature that allows it to open against the geometry of the V bottom. It slides closed and then a panel lowers from the bottom. The engines are easily accessible from the transom hatch. Inside, the IPS 600 engines are directly connected to the pods just behind. Note how the service points are both on the port-hand side of the engines. The black water tank is right between the 2 engines, and we can walk on it for servicing the engines. To the left, the batteries are secured in an enclosed box. The 11 kW generator has the fuel filter just behind for easy servicing. Just ahead, we can see the hot water heater and the 2 water tanks to either side and against the forward bulkhead. The single fuel tank is the head of the bulkhead and feeds into day tanks just ahead of the engine. When it came time to get underway, the joystick functionality made short work of the tight confines of our marina, and we were soon on our way. The Regal 42 Fly has a length overall of 42 feet, a beam of 13 feet, and a draft of 43 inches. With an empty weight of 27,500 pounds, 34% fuel, and 3 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 28,567 pounds. With the twin 435 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS 600 engines turning 3620 RPM, we reached our top speed of 35.4 knots. Best cruise came in at 3,000 RPM and 27.6 knots. At that speed, the 27-gallon-per-hour fuel burn translated into 1 nautical mile per gallon and a range of 237.1 nautical miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 258-gallon total fuel capacity. As for her handling, upon advancing the throttles, we came up on plane in 5.6 seconds, accelerated to 20 miles per hour in 8.1 seconds, and 30 came and went in 13.4. We were testing on a windy day, but in protected water, so we can't really comment on how she handles chop, but we did notice that with the flying bridge, obviously having a good amount of sail area, she will lean into the wind. Trim tabs took care of this in short order. She provides a comfortable ride with a wide turning radius of an IPS-powered boat that keeps everyone comfortable regardless of how heavy-handed the captain gets. And of course, when it came time to return to the dock, again, the joystick functionality made it a non-event. With both helms being starboard mounted, I would add a cockpit control station to the port side so all areas are covered for visibility. Regardless, Just small pulses of the stick to get her moving, and then control that movement is all it takes for smooth docking every time. Well, clearly, this is a boat that is impressive both inside and out. Regal stepped out of character by creating a flybridge yacht, but also stayed true to form and didn't just put another level on an existing design. No, this 42 Fly is something different, and it can be felt as soon as you step aboard. In my opinion, it's a good move for Regal and for its customers. And that's my full inspection and sea trial of the 42 Fly from Regal. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.